Have you noticed the increasing amount of natural disasters occurring in the United States lately? The wildfires raging up and down California and the hurricanes that are drenching the East Coast in rain? These natural disasters are not a coincidence. Climate change has caused an increase in fires in California and hurricanes on the East Coast. It is important that we are all informed about why this increase is happening, especially because the California wildfires directly affect all of us. I've lived in San Diego for my entire life, and I've noticed this increase in wildfires, so I've spent time researching to understand why. First, I'm going to cover the increase in wildfires in California. Second, I will go over the increasing intensity of hurricanes on the East Coast. And lastly, I will go over what we can do to fix this issue. So fires are increasing in number and in length, and the main thing that's happening is that the fire season has lengthened a lot in recent years. So Dickinson's 2016 article titled "The Summer of Hell and High Water" states that since 1970, the fire season has lengthened by 105 days. So that means that now fires begin in early July when they used to start in September or October. And additionally, a NASA study done by Nesbitt in 2018 shows that fire seasons have lengthened from this map. So if you look at the bottom, the red and orange color shows that there's a major increase in the fire season, and then if you look toward the west coast in California, you can see that it's orange over there. So in addition to fire season lengthening, fires have become much more intense in recent years. So this past year, the Mendocino fire burned in Northern California, and this was the largest complex fire in California's history. Nesbitt, in his article titled "California's Wildfires Are an Ominous Sign" from 2018, states that the Mendocino fires are a lot more dangerous and destructive than previous fires have been. So now we know fires are increasing, and I'm going to explain why. So the main cause in the increase in fires is the rising temperatures all over the globe. This past year in California, we hit the hottest temperature for a month that we've ever had, and it was this past July when the temperatures were overall 79.9 degrees for the whole month. Colbert's New Yorker article titled "Fire Alarm" states that these rising temperatures are due to the rising levels of carbon dioxide in the environment. And the reason that this affects fires is because it causes droughts. So the 2015 article by Menzie titled "The Risk Factors That Contribute to Wildfires" states that the less amounts of rain we've been receiving and the higher amounts of temperatures are causing a drought. This causes the vegetation to dry out. And basically that's directly fuel for fires, so it causes them to spread a lot faster than they used to in previous years. So the reason this matters is because fires are creating a lot of death and destruction throughout the state, and I have personally experienced this. So the Mendocino fire, one of the fires was called the Ranch Fire, and this fire burned over 600 square miles, which is twice the size of New York City. So this burned down thousands of homes and buildings, and it affected many people. And I personally have been affected by fires too, because in 2003, the Cedar Fire burned about a mile away from my home. I circled it there in Scripps Ranch, and it burned hundreds of homes in my neighborhood. We were forced to evacuate. And I remember being so scared sitting in the back of my car thinking that my house wouldn't be there when we returned. Then in 2008 and in 2014, my family was forced to evacuate due to more fires in our neighborhood. And I'm sure many of you have had similar experiences or feelings because the majority of you are from California. But the bad thing is that fires are only projected to increase in the future. US's 2014 study titled "The Projection of Wildfires in Southern California" states that the area of land burned by the end of the century is projected to double. So now we know about fires, but unfortunately this isn't the only natural disaster that's increasing. Hurricanes are increasing in intensity, not in number, on the East Coast. So they've been increasing a lot in intensity, and Trenberth and colleagues' 2018 study titled "Hurricane Harvey and Climate Change" states that the 2017 hurricane season broke numerous records in intensity. So Hurricane Harvey brought levels of rain that had never been seen before, and the National Weather Channel even had to add new colors of purple to show the amount of rain. So this is not even the most alarming fact. Something scary is that since the 1970s, the amount of Category 4 and 5 hurricanes in the United States has doubled. So now you know about the increase in hurricanes, and next I'm going to cover why they're increasing. There are two main factors. The first is the rise in the sea temperature, and the second is the rise in sea levels. So there are increased greenhouse gases in the atmosphere like carbon dioxide, and this creates an energy imbalance. 92% of that energy imbalance is absorbed by the ocean, so this causes the temperatures to rise. And the reason that affects hurricanes is because warmer waters feed the storms, so they're able to become much bigger and spread faster. The second reason is higher sea levels. So since 1900, the sea levels have risen by 7 to 8 inches, and this causes storms to have a higher starting point, so they're able to move farther inland and cause more destruction. So just like with fires, hurricanes have led to a lot of damage and destruction. My own family, I have relatives that live in North Carolina, and they've noticed in recent years the damage has been a lot more severe due to hurricanes. And unfortunately, just like fires, it's only projected to increase in the future. So now you know about the rising rates of fires and hurricanes, and I'm going to tell you what we can do to fix this. So the main thing we can do to fix global warming is push for change at the government level. The fact is that daily habits of people are not going to fix global warming. Campbell's article in 2008 states that, or it's titled "What It Takes to Stop Global Warming," states that if the entire Earth stops using energy for a month, it's not going to make any difference. And this is because we're addicted to something called fossil fuels. So as you can see, they've been increasing since the beginning of the century. So basically, we're all reliant on this, and developed countries like the United States are not willing to give up things like electricity and cars, and underdeveloped countries rely on fossil fuels to get out of poverty. So what we really need to do is push for political pressure. So as you can see, if we all begin to act now, we can remap economies all over the world. What we need to do is create carbon dioxide and make that more expensive than newer energies. And the way we can do this is by implementing carbon tax. But what we can do as individuals is remain concerned about climate change and push for it at the government level. So to sum everything up, wildfires are increasing in California and hurricanes are increasing on the East Coast. What we can do as citizens is push for change at the government level. So I hope this has all informed you about the natural disasters occurring and why they're increasing in intensity. But I also hope that this will inspire you to become more passionate about climate change and to push for increases in policies and new officials so that we can really make a difference. Thank you.
Okay. Juliana, how'd that go?
Pretty good. It's pretty long, so it was a lot different than my last speech, but I was like scared I was gonna forget stuff. I forgot like one title of an article, but that was it, so I'm gonna
Do you have a password for this?
Yeah, the what?
The password?
Oh, yeah. It's still right here. Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Okay. Based on your research, what was most captivating to you?